Just, like, don't fucking talk at all. I'm just kidding. You can talk if you want. I'm just gonna cut it out. Okay. Is the Martyrs 2015 reboot any good? Quick answer, no. Okay. Martyrs 2015, the 2015 reboot, directed by two people. I'm assuming they're brothers. I don't want to research into them more. I'll probably do it later. Kevin and Michael Goetz, like the Wayans brothers, but less good. I haven't seen the movies. I haven't. And like I haven't seen any other movie that they made, just this one. And this one didn't leave a good impression, so I'm not gonna watch their other movies, to be honest. Let's just start at the beginning, okay? So, the movie, essentially, if you haven't seen the original, spoiler alert, obviously, because I'm not gonna hold back on this. The 2015 version is exactly the same as the original up until the shooting house scene. Okay? Up until then, up until Anna comes in as an adult. I mean, like a dollar store version, exactly the same, because it's obviously not as good. Let's just start at the beginning. The OG scene, Lucy is a child. She's just escaped from this place that has been abusing her, and she's running down the road, and then she finds cops. The cops show up, and then she's taken to an orphanage. The original 2008 version, 2007, it changes wherever you look at it. What doesn't matter. The OG scene was shocking. It made you stop and take notice of what was happening. Charlie horse! Even at some even at some level, it was disturbing. It wasn't over-processed with cuts, and it wasn't over-processed with cuts to the credits and music. It was saying, you know, here I fucking am, bitch. The 2015 version was more somber than anything, like not disturbing, and felt like a very basic movie. Intros are very important to movies, obviously, because it's like it's that moment where you decide where you're gonna keep watching after the first like 5 minutes. Midsummer is an amazing example of an intro that just fucking stabs you in the throat and forces you to take notice and keep watching the movie. Even though it's still a slow built up movie, it takes a while to get to the point of what's going on before you realize what the cult is doing. But the intro immediately pulls you in and you're like, fuck, I guess I should keep watching. The original Martyrs did the same thing, where it was like the original scene was just fucking there. It forced you to like look at it, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? And then it did the opening. It didn't intercut with all these fucking cuts to credits like directed by. That's fucking boring. It takes me out of the movie. What the fuck is wrong? Why would you? Fucking idiot.
I still think about the OG Martyrs.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was fucking good. So Lucy is taken to an orphanage. She's obviously dealing with a lot of trauma with, all this shit. She is portrayed the same as in the original, up until the house scene, where she's just very traumatized. She's dealing with her demon, all of this shit. She begins to bond with Anna. They grow up to become partners. I don't remember if in Martyrs, the 2015 version, if it's directly stated that they were lovers. I didn't make a note of it, so I'm assuming they continued that plot line. They are bonding with Anna. It's literally the exact same fucking scenes from like the what's that thing called? the spinny thing where you like the roundabout or
Carousel?
it like a carousel, but it's like on a playground. Does that have a name? You know that thing where you like you would pull and then you would jump on it and then it would spin in a circle.
I know what you mean, and I know it has a name, but I can't think of it.
It doesn't matter. Like you get the fucking point. Like literally even that scene's the same of her bringing her a cookie, sitting it down on the fucking steel, and Anna walking away and leaving Lucy just to eat the cookie, and it's that slow bonding moment where Lucy begins to trust her, and then them laying on the is it a carousel?
No, because that's the...
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It would too deep. But even then, here's the thing. They have the moments of Lucy and Anna bonding, and the way they edit it is that Lucy is almost getting better, air quotes, and then immediately after is the house scene where Lucy tracks down the people who kidnapped her and tortured her, and she murders them and their entire family. The juxtaposition from that moment of bonding and caring and that to just murder, destruction. It's like, what? Merry-go-rounds. Fuck, yeah. It's just a strange cut. The original managed to limit the bonding between her and Anna while never lessening up on Lucy's suffering because it would give the impression that she was healing. So the 2015 version just fucking fucked that up.
Well, if you recall in the original, though, it shows her and Anna bonding over the fact that Lucy is still suffering from the nightmares from that event, still mentally not better.
It's not framed this way in the 2015 version. In the 2015 version, Anna does not believe Lucy at all. In fact, she entirely tries to pull away and abandon Lucy but you're jumping ahead, dude. You're jumping ahead. We're gonna get there.
Sorry, you're the one jumping ahead. I haven't seen the 2015 version. You can't call me out.
The fact that this movie is shot for shot the same, minus all of the nuance and important details like Lucy's trauma. It's framed differently in the 2015 version. As a kid, she's essentially the same as the 2008, the original, but in the movie, as an adult, she is pretty competent. If you've ever met a mentally ill person, you find this common theme where they are not very competent. Lucy, you could make the argument that she's not competent because she's going around murdering people, but no. In the original, she was very gut reaction. She killed them probably very instantaneously to finding out where they were, and then after that, she was kind of down for the count. She was susceptible to her demon. Anna had to take care of her, all this shit. In this movie, in the 2015 version, she's doing all of the shit. She's doing everything. She's cleaning up. She's, talking lucidly. It just not. It just, and then another thing they missed with the nuance is the fact that in the original they were both people of color. Someone could make the argument that it is offensive to take a movie with undertones of colonization, where the two main characters are lesbian lovers and both women of color, and to remake the movie and strip it of the colonization undertones. And not only that, but make both of the main characters white. Some people can make the argument that that is offensive. And honestly, I don't know that I would even fight them on it. I don't think it was intentionally negligent. I think the directors watched the movie, missed the point entirely, were like, cool, let's remake that, earn all of the profits off of its name, but not do near as good of a job. It's lazy. That's what the directors did, is just remake it for the money. They only wanted to piggyback off of the success of the original. The action scenes are horrific. Literally can't even tell what's happening. That's my only point for that. So, okay, here's where it begins to differ. Lucy tracks down the people who kidnapped her, and it's the same as the movie. It's a family having dinner, they're bonding, it's like a lighthearted moment. Lucy shows up at the door, shoots the person who answers, and then goes around the house and kills the rest of the family. She then calls Anna. Now, in the original, Anna was waiting at a phone booth, as though Lucy had told her plan. Anna didn't want to be directly involved, so she just told Lucy, call her when it's over, and then she immediately rushed over to the house and began to help Lucy deal with the aftermath. In this movie, Anna is asleep. She very clearly did not know what Lucy was going to do, and so she comes to the house. She sees everything that Lucy's done. Lucy tries to explain to her, and it's clear that Anna does not believe her. Anna tries to leave, and then gets pulled back in by, I believe, Lucy and her demon. I feel like it's a disservice to both characters, because it entirely ruins Anna's character. Anna in the original, I don't know whether it's clear that she even believed Lucy up until she found the cellar, but she was very earnestly in love with Lucy and wanted to help her regardless. In this version, she's very boring. Like, picture cardigan wearing, Vans, the girl. Like, that's the girl, which is boring as hell. Which literally is her entire character. It's about it.
So basic, nerdy, goody two-shoes white girl.
Yes. Like, remember those two Christian YouTube girls?
Yes.
They were like, God doesn't want you to hold hands, because it's sin.
Oh, rude.
So here's where the part of Lucy's lucidity. Again, in the original, Lucy was very obviously mentally ill. She showed up, killed the people. She was incapacitated. The demon wouldn't leave her alone, and she had assumed that if she killed the people, the demon would leave her. The demon did not. She began to self-harm. She was basically comatose. And Anna helped her through it all. She began to drag bodies out and get rid of them by herself, but ultimately Lucy succumbs to her wounds. But in this version, Lucy's very lucid. She's the one doing the cleaning up. She's like, we need to do this and this and this, and it's just not accurate to have a character who's been through that much trauma to the point of seeing hallucinations, self-harming that much. It's not accurate to have her be that functioning. It's just not. So basically, Anna wants to leave the house. Lucy insists no, because she had a confrontation with the demon. The demon did not leave her alone after she had killed the family. So her logic is, as Anna says, we need to leave, Lucy says, no, we have to clean the house first. Then it will leave me alone. Explain to me how that makes sense.
That does not make sense.
Exactly. Just say you want to leave no evidence behind. Like, you've played her lucid up until this point, just own it. Just say you want to leave no evidence for the cops. Why the fuck would this doesn't make any goddamn sense. In the original, the monster came back and made Lucy hurt herself while Anna was trying to clean the house and protect her. Lucy then died, and Anna was so in shock that she stuck around. And in this, the 2015 version, Anna wants to leave, but Lucy stays because many question marks. Anna begins to call 911 while Lucy is asleep to get the cops to come. But here's the kicker. The 911 call is actually a code to get the organization to come to the house. So anytime someone calls 911, it triggers that and they come. And I just repeated myself. Get this. The madam is Ellis Gray from Grey's Anatomy. Okay. Whatever. But Anna finds the secret room before they get there, and there's a woman trapped down there. Anna walks into the room, and she screams, and she goes to run out, and the victim goes, wait. Anna goes back to her, and then the girl says, please don't hurt me. Like, why would you get her attention if you were afraid that she was going to hurt you?
That doesn't make sense.
In this one, Lucy, Anna, both survive. They're both taken back into the torture devices. And basically we're told that Lucy will be the martyr. How they know she specifically will, why they keep Anna alive if they know that Lucy will be the martyr, I don't know. Because up until this point, we're told that Lucy has been the only one, right? So how would they know that she was going to be the martyr? Then there's, like, the gore issue. So the original, I wouldn't say, for my taste, it wasn't necessarily very gory. There was not a lot of blood and guts. There were certain disturbing scenes, I suppose, like the metal rods being pulled out of the girl's head, Anna being skinned, that sort of thing. But Martyrs is kind of known for the fact that it's disturbing. And so if you're going to do a reboot of it, why exactly would you not make it as gory as possible is my question. I mean, I appreciate that because honestly, I hate when movies just go full send gore galore. It's annoying. Honestly, I don't think it makes for a good movie, but I feel like it's an odd choice. If you're going to profit off of a movie that's known for one thing, why are you not going to give it that one thing? Especially if you're not even going to add anything unique to the story, which they didn't. They stripped it of all of its nuance. So what was the point? Again, please tell me. Please enlighten me. I want to know. So Anna manages to escape. She kills a bunch of people. By this point, Lucy has been skinned, I think she was, and then she was brought into a big cathedral with, and a bunch of organization members gather there, and they're like, oh, we're about to find out what she sees after death. And Anna breaks into the room, and okay. Let me see what my notes say. There's a lot of Christ references, which I hate. I hate Christ references. Like, maybe if you wanted to do something with, like, a reference to the Catholic Church and how overpowering and how many horrible things the organization did, I could understand that. It would actually make sense for this kind of movie. But, again, I, know for a fact they didn't even get any of the nuance. And so, of the original, the nuance of them being POCs and then colonization, they didn't get that huge factor. So I don't think they were even intending to do a reference to the Catholic Church and how they put people through all of this shit for their cause, because they just wanted to make Lucy look like a god figure. That's all they wanted to do. I think they just entirely misunderstood the point of the movie. But Anna gets there. Lucy has reached martyrdom. Anna's holding people up with a gun. She goes over to Lucy, and there's another guy standing there, and it's both Anna and the guy standing near Lucy. Lucy begins to tell them what she saw, and the madam's like, "What did she tell you?" The people in the front row were like, "I don't know, I didn't hear." And then the guy who overheard is like, "I heard." And then he grabs Anna's gun and shoots himself. And then I don't remember if the madam dies. Honestly, I don't give a shit. But basically, I suppose that Anna is so like taken aback by what she heard that she and Lucy both enter martyrdom, and that's how the movie ends. And Anna called the cops, so the cops showed up, and that's the end of the movie. Overall, it just gives me white savior vibes. I don't even know fully why. Just like it was, if I had to say something positive, it wasn't shot ugly. They picked a good quality camera, I guess. Do I have anything else to say about this movie? No. Cool.
That's it?
That's it. That's all, folks.
I don't know. She's like, well then, keep guessing. And then shoots herself.
They literally didn't add anything new.
They just seemed to change the ending ever so slightly and then made it worse.
They're like, see, we're clever. We added this in, even though they didn't add a single thing aside from the Christ reference, which I feel like is probably the laziest thing to do in filmmaking. I hate it. It's genuinely my least favorite trope. And this one, it was just like they essentially stole the big question of the ending and called it their own. And even then, you can steal a good plot point, but it won't make your movie good, bud. Sorry about that.